Is there still a place for cold calling?
Yeah, so I mean, I love cold calling. To me, it's a challenge. It's a sport, and I think actually, if you see it as a sport, then that helps a lot. Sports you can get better at by practice. There are specific skills that you learn, tactics that you learn that improve your performance in a sport, and the same is true for cold calling. But ultimately, if you lose, it's not the end of the world. There's always another match. You can always redeem yourself. It's not the end of the world, basically. I think one of the things that I see a lot of salespeople doing that I wish they wouldn't is it's the way that they open up the call. You've got like eight. There was a study a few years ago that said you had 12 seconds to set the tone of any conversation that you have with someone, in terms of establishing those kind of roles. Who's gonna lead the dance? Who's gonna be subservient? And also whether or not they like you. One of the biggest problems that I have with salespeople who cold call me is sometimes they sound super slick. They sound like they've put a huge amount of effort into learning their script, which is good, but they've forgotten to do the next step, which is to make it more natural, make it like they're just talking to someone in a bar or a restaurant or whatever. You think about it like an actor who's got a script. They've learned their words, but then you've got to toss the script to one side, and you've got to own the words, and you've got to own that script so that it sounds natural. Because when you go and watch a movie, you don't expect to watch it and see a person robotically reading the words that were written for them. You expect to see an actor who has embodied that character and believes what they're saying so that you can believe what they're saying. So stop being super confident when you're opening up a call. Stop being super slick. Come in with curiosity. Be humble. Not everyone. I know you really believe the product or service that you're selling is fantastic. Otherwise, you wouldn't work at that company. But it's not for everyone. It can't be for everyone. There will always be situations, even if you've got the best service that anyone's ever heard of. There will always be people who it's not going to fit for. So be humble when you open up the cold call. The reason that you're calling is really important. That reason why you're calling has got to catch the prospect or client's imagination. They've got to understand that, and they've got to understand it simply. So get rid of all of your long fancy words. You're not trying to show off here. You're not trying to demonstrate how clever you are. Actually, the exact opposite. You want to sound assured, comfortable with silence, but curious. Your tone needs to be humble and curious.